Hey everybody, how are you doing today? So what I've got to share with you basically is it's a dream that I had. It's actually based on a dream. Now I know people have had like real life experiences, but I think the reason why this is like important for me to share it with you is because I want to document it. I want to document it because a lot of my dreams are really prophetic. Hey happy face, how you doing darling? And this one was really powerful. And I know that a lot of guys that come into this show, thanks so much for the hearts, are also quite intuitive. You have intuitive dreams, and I know that some of you have had like the real deal sightings and stuff. Yeah, so what I had was actually a dream. It was just a dream. How you doing? Lovely to have you, Auden. So I'm just going to share it with you because it was so intense, it was so real, and it just so happens that you're watching me on Twitter. Oh, cool. I hope it was cool for you. And a lot of my dreams are actually very prophetic. Those of you that know me in person will be able to vouch for that. You know that about me. And in all honesty, like, even though I am interested in unidentified object phenomena, let's say, thank you very much for sharing it on. It's not something that I look at every day. It's not something that I'm like completely invested in, but it is something that, you know, I do touch upon every now and again. Hello to you. So definitely something that I want to share because it was one of those dreams that were almost like a real life experience. So this is basically what happened in the dream. It appeared that I was in some kind of a tropical climate, I would say. And all of a sudden, what I'm seeing, I'm looking out like over a bay of sorts of water. And then all of a sudden I see in front of me, firstly, it was like a procession of all of these different unidentified objects. And the first one that moves by in super slow motion was almost like a floating city. Now, I know that there have been many fakes in real life with all of this stuff, but in the dream it was, you know, supposedly really very real. So this enormous floating city, it's like I couldn't see the edge of it at the top and I couldn't see the bottom. It was just like overwhelmingly humongous. It was so huge. And I could see so much detail and with so much clarity the details of this city. And so this floats past, and then next up we're seeing you know, the typical kind of UFO shape, which if you looked at the beginning of my transition now, you got your typical saucer shaped object with the lights. And so, no, I don't drink. And so this was what was floating by, like various types of that kind of unidentified object, which is, let's say, more the typical kind. So a few of those had gone by. And then I think the most interesting part of it was the next group of unidentified objects that were floating past were in fact not made of material. So it was like they were like made of light, like light objects. Yeah. So they were light objects that were unidentified UFO type objects, and then they would shapeshift. So they would shapeshift into different kind of shapes. Some of them were like tubes, some of them turned into like sacred geometric type of patterns, some of them just shaped, you know, it was all these different shapes. And in the dream I was so blown away. And my fiance is actually standing next to me in the dream as well. And he said to me, oh my God, he said to me, you are not crazy after all. And we started laughing because in real life he always calls me crazy, right? No, there was no capturing going on. It was all kind of observation, let's say. Yeah, there he is. And he says, yes, I am. Okay, so I am a bit crazy, but It was very unusual and it was very real. It was almost lucid, you know, it was so real. And then as I'm standing there watching, all of these unidentified objects then turned into, yeah, it could have been you. So all these unidentified objects then kind of, they merged. And you have dreams like this. Well, I've never had a dream like this, to be honest. So it was very unusual to me, yeah. So the next thing that happened was it all became as though I was looking at the multiverse. And then the sky and the horizon was filled with lots of swirling white light, which looked like lots of mini universes, and they just literally held, excuse me, and filled the whole of the horizon, the whole of the sky, for as far up as I could see, for as deep as I could see, for as low that I could see, filled with all of this swirling phenomena, which through my interpretation whilst I was dreaming it, what I was receiving, oh no, I'm not worried, it's just very unusual. I've never dreamt of anything like this before. And what I got back from it, because I am intuitive, I'm also asking for intuitive reception and information whilst I'm dreaming, is what am I looking at, you know. And so I was literally told that what I was viewing was in fact a prophecy. Okay, a prophecy. So it's something that will eventually unfold. So I said, okay, fair enough. So why should this unfold anyway? Because I'm not an advocate or a believer that, you know, some beings from some other extraterrestrial place are going to come to our planet and save us, you know. I don't know that many, to be honest. It was just like a procession of them, loads of them, yeah. So I'm not a believer or an advocate that beings or unidentified objects are going to come in from another time and another place and save this world. So I asked, you know, what is it all about? And what it is that came back, in fact, was that, no, it wasn't the Americans. That would be really bad if it was, actually. Was that there needs to be like a cosmic slap in the face, you know. So if we are actually exposed to this kind of phenomena, then it's really going to shake a few people up, especially the ones that refuse to awaken and the ones that are completely based in sound science. And science is always falling apart anyway, and it's always not being able to prove something, and then when it does, it all actually falls to pieces. So there needs to be some kind of a disclosure whereby people will understand that there's so much more to life and so much more to existence than what we know. And as a result of that, it may mean, it implies, it could mean that it could be the fall of many systems as we know it, yeah? And so, you know, this is what it's all about. It's about disclosure, and it is about, you know, being able to see the reality for what it really is and what it's really worth. When I also asked where the objects are coming from or what it is that they're related to, right, Warden? And what it is that they're related to, I also got the words Lemuria and Atlantis, which again, you know, a lot of my students are into that, so I'll be asking some of them what they know about this, what the connection may be between Lemuria, Atlantis and UFO phenomena and disclosure. I know what those two are all about, but how there might be a connection to what it is that I saw. This is the bit that's, you know, a bit of a conundrum, so to speak. So this is what came through. I didn't actually get like a conversation. All I got were the two words. So it's telling me that there is a connection between the unidentified objects and these two mystical, ancient lands, places, traditions, you know, whatever it is that you want to call it. So there's a connection there which I haven't deciphered just yet, but I will. I'll find out what that's all about. And by the way, whilst this was all going on in the dream, I got to a point where I woke up, and then there were like some flashing lights coming in through the window, but of course that could be anything. but it was just weird that that would happen at that moment, you know, synchronistically. I mean to say, share with us later after, oh right, after we've talked about it. Yes, after we have talked about it with the students, because I'm teaching Sunday, the cosmic law ceremonies, I will ask them, I will put the dream to them, and ask my Lemuria specialists and Atlantis specialists what they think the link and the connection is. So I wake up from the dream and there's some flashing white lights coming in through the window, which was just very synchronistic. I didn't get up to check it out because I was still so blown away from the dream, and I was like in a sweat and kind of disorientated, and it was all quite bizarre and weird. Now, I know that a lot of people who are like non-believers, for example, will say, oh, you just watch too many movies. Oh, it's because you are an intuitive transformation coach, or oh, it's because, you know, you do such a lot of posts on Facebook in your group about UFO phenomena. No, it's not about that. Because I've been doing all this stuff for like many years, and it's the first time that I've ever dreamt of something so intense and so vivid and so real. I didn't know what reality was when I woke up. I didn't know if the reality was when I was awake or if the reality was when I was sleeping. You know, it was so bizarre. And just to finish with you guys, I wanted to just express a final link, which is that every month I do cosmic forecasts, yeah. Now, the forecast before the last one, which I think was September's, if I'm not mistaken, you can find it on my YouTube channel, Helen Christodoulou, was all about UFO disclosure, and that there will be more sightings, and that there will be more mass sightings, and to prepare people with their cameras. This is what actually came 2 intuitive cosmic forecasts ago. Now, after I did that broadcast, there was a mass incident here in Cyprus, actually. And people thought it was a comet, but it actually wasn't. So it was all quite neatly tucked under the carpet. It definitely wasn't a comet. There was vibrations in the ground. There were lights everywhere in the skies. And it felt very much like an earthquake. And from my understanding and other, you know, intuitive colleagues and students, when we did like a group investigation of it, found that it was some kind of paranormal and UFO activity. It wasn't a comet at all. So you might want to research that on Google. And it was just amazing that that event actually happened exactly 2 days after that particular broadcast, which was my cosmic forecast for, I think, September, if I'm not mistaken. So guys, this was the dream, this was my experience. I wanted to document it here on a live stream. I'm going to put it up on YouTube, so when it happens, I've got the evidence. This is the reason why I wanted to share it, okay? So thanks very much for being here. My name is Helen Christodoulou. I am your intuitive mentor and coach. I am the founder of the Fusion 7 Healing Mystery School, and I am also the author of the Miracle Frequency, available over on Amazon currently and presently. Now, I am teaching on Sundays, and I've got a nice little gift to share with you about the cosmic law ceremonies, and after it is done, I will share on how it is that you might be able to obtain and gain access to cosmic law ceremony work. So with that, guys, thank you also for being here. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for caring. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I think I will be on again with you tomorrow morning on the eve of the cosmic law ceremonies. So thank you very much once again. Be good if you can't be good. Be careful, and may primary source always be the primary force that is with you. Thanks to you. Word and phrases. Thanks for being in. Take care of yourself.